Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, for giving me the opportunity to speak on this burning issue about women atrocities. I think the biggest atrocity against a woman in India today is that she does not have the choice to live, as the Honorable Member from TMC said earlier. We are in a country where women need the permission of society to be born. The child sex ratio in India, according to the census of 2011, is 944 to 1,000 boys, or more recently 918, as again the Honorable Member from TMC said earlier. 944. That's 80 million missing daughters of India. Daughters who would grow up to be living, breathing young women. Daughters who were never allowed to exist. 80 million women who were never given a chance to come into this world and experience its joys, face its trials and tribulations, go to school, college, get an education, live a life. If we are serious about tackling atrocities against women, the first step, in my opinion, is to let them live. As a nation, the first question we must ask ourselves is, how do we ensure that women can breathe? And the next logical step then is, how do we ensure that they can breathe freely? Atrocities against women include sexual assault, molestation, street sexual harassment, trafficking, and that most saddening of all crimes, infanticide and infanticide. It also includes the treatment meted out to women during and after conflict situations, riot victims left without support, war widows left without compensation, women who have faced the worst trauma left without any psychological and financial help. I don't think there is anyone in this House who doubts the need to address the issue of atrocities against women. There is an urgent need to curb these crimes and ensure that the strictest action is taken against the perpetrators. My friends in the opposition who have ruled India for the last 10 years, would recall all the atrocities during those days against women. I don't hold you personally responsible, I'm just recounting those 10 years. 2,24,549 rapes, 2,73,341 abductions of women, 79,404 dowry deaths. Madam, we didn't interrupt you. Please, may I finish? 34,974 women trafficked. Big numbers, each one of them representing a woman or girl who has suffered. And that suffering, that pain, that every single one of them has undergone cannot be fully expressed even by these horrific numbers. There are many riots that have taken place in the country. My heart goes out to all of them, but mostly to the women, the widows of 1984. The women who are left widowed, left homeless, left jobless. Orphaned children. Absolutely, all the women I said it before. Mr. Huda, please sit down. I am not, this is my maiden speech. Let me speak. You can then speak. Give a notice. Kindly let me finish. Kindly let me finish. Have the courtesy. I didn't take the name of the Congress. If the shoe fits, so be it. I didn't mention the Congress. I didn't mention the Congress. Kindly let me finish. And by the way, I spoke about all the riot victims and the women. There were so many orphaned children, women left homeless and widowed. Till today, compensations have not been adequately paid.
Could you address the chair, please?
Sorry. Till today, no adequate compensations have been paid to those women. If you go to Tilok Vihar, you will see in what abysmal conditions they live. And their children were never given any proper psychological counseling, as a result of which the trauma they went through, they went into drug addiction. These women were wives of people who were contractors and businessmen. They work as peons, they work as malis. They are in a terrible condition right now. Nobody has bothered to rehabilitate them. The story of 1984 is about these women who are one after the other, generation after generation, have been left to fend for themselves. They are the forgotten widows of our country. What about the women from the Kashmiri Pandits, the Kashmiri Pandit refugees? Nobody really cared about those women. What happened to their children? They lived in refugee camps. Did anybody try to rehabilitate them? I say anybody. I don't necessarily say you, he, me, anybody. Did anybody try to rehabilitate these women? Look at the suffering they've gone through. I do not want to only generalize about women and talk about women as a whole. We all know about what women in India suffer. But these are particular things that need attention, and I feel my first time I'm speaking in Parliament as an Indian citizen, as a citizen of Punjab, I need to bring this to the attention of the House. And I know that all of you have been very passionate about finding solutions, especially my friends in the opposition, to women's problems. You ruled India for almost 60 years. In those 60 years, yes.
अरे आप बहुत बोल चुकी है बहन।
इसके बाद बोलिएगा आप, मैंने आपने कुछ नहीं बोला बीच में।
प्लीज
आप इसके बाद बोलिएगा, आप इसके बाद बोलिएगा, इसके बाद बोल लीजिएगा। मेरा कहने, मैंने कांग्रेस का नाम नहीं लिया। 60 साल।
No, why should you interrupt her? Why should you interrupt her? Let her speak.
अध्यक्ष महोदय।
अरे आप बोली खूब भाई।
चेयरपर्सन, ऑनरेबल चेयरपर्सन, 60 साल इन लोगों ने इस देश पर राज किया। 60 साल में अभी तक अगर ग्रास रूट लेवल पर कोई ऐसी नीतियां बनी होती जिससे हमारे लोगों में माइंडसेट चेंज जो हम बोलते हैं वो आ गया होता, हमारी जनरेशन आफ्टर जनरेशन एनलाइटन होती, तो आज हम इस स्थिति में ना होते कि हम औरत और बच्चों के लिए सुरक्षा मांग रहे होते। इन्होंने 60 साल कुछ नहीं किया इसके बारे में, मुझे बहुत खेद से कहना पड़ता है। आपने कहा कि आप क्रिमिनल लॉ अमेंडमेंट्स लाए हैं फॉर द सेफ्टी ऑफ विमेन। ये भूल गए कि उस वक्त पूरा देश सड़कों पे उतरा हुआ था निर्भया कांड के बाद, इसीलिए और बीजेपी के प्रेशर के बाद, नहीं तो जैसा ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड था ये वैसा ही चलता जाता। वर्क प्लेस सेक्सुअल हैरासमेंट एक्ट, इनको 9 साल लग गए, जबकि 16 साल से विशाखा गाइडलाइंस उपस्थित थी पब्लिक डोमेन में। जब उस वक्त इनका किधर था इतना केयर जो आज इतनी सारी स्पीचेस हो रही हैं। हम NDA has been in power only for 10 weeks. In the union budget that has just been passed, the NDA government has earmarked 100 crore rupees for the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Yojana to improve the efficiency in the delivery of welcome streams of women. The government has announced a separate chapter on gender mainstreaming in the school curriculum so that the mindset change that is so urgently required is brought about. Funds have been set aside for schemes for safety of women in large cities and on public transport. The cabinet has approved the new juvenile justice bill to ensure that youngsters in the age group of 16 to 18 who commit heinous crimes like rape are not let off scot-free. The government has also requested states to increase the number of women in their police forces considerably. Let us welcome these steps as responsible legislators instead of opposing for the sake of opposition. I'd like to conclude by saying that the debate on legislation alone cannot solve the problems that women face in our country. Discrimination against women, right from the moment a girl child is born, sir, is deep-rooted in our society. This is my appeal on behalf of the unempowered daughters, mothers and sisters of this country. What can we do today to ensure that 5 years from now, every woman in India can write her own destiny? Thank you very much.
Shri